Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple.
A wishing apple?
You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not. First love's kiss can break any curse.
I would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
Rachel Zegler's Hollywood dream just took a cartoon-sized hit, and it's not funny, not for her anyway. The Simpsons, America's longest-running animated show, is about to unleash a brutal parody aimed directly at Rachel and her now infamous role in Disney's Snow White remake. For someone already drowning in backlash, this might be the moment everything truly collapses. So how did one of Disney's rising stars go from red carpet darling to pop culture punchline? The answer lies in arrogance, controversy, and a massive miscalculation that turned a fairy tale into a career nightmare. Let's break down the fall of Rachel Zegler and how The Simpsons is about to seal the deal. It all started with one of the most iconic roles in animation history, Snow White. But instead of treating it like a crown jewel, Rachel Zegler treated it like a problem she needed to fix. In interview after interview, Rachel slammed the original 1937 film. She called the prince a stalker, labeled the romance plot creepy, and dismissed the story as outdated and irrelevant. She bragged that her version of Snow White wouldn't dream about love. She'd be dreaming about leadership.
No longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That laugh.
That is
not going to be saved by
You
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, maybe I could be president one day. I hate men, I just want to be president. That screams Disney princess. Oh my God, I'm literally getting enraged. Once again, I feel like I'm back in 2022.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
Yeah, the entire film's about a love story. It's about a love story because that's what the point of the film is. And I'm sorry that chivalry and a man pursuing you is now deemed as stalking, which now it's kind of making sense why men are opting out of the dating scene.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years.
On the original production, I was scared of it. Oh, it was so weird. It was a stalker. Like, I feel like if you are taking on the most iconic Disney role ever, genuinely, like this was the most prolific Disney film, I feel like you should kind of have some sort of reverence for the original production.
The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
She was rebranding a princess into a girl boss, and she wanted the world to know, but fans weren't impressed. They were furious. What Rachel saw as empowerment, audiences saw as arrogance. Disney lovers accused her of trashing a beloved classic just to promote her own agenda. Memes spread like wildfire, mocking her every word. Instead of building anticipation for the film, she stirred up a storm of resentment, and that was just the beginning. Rachel didn't just criticize the film, she criticized everyone who disagreed with her. In one clip, she lashed out at a male fan for having an opinion, accusing him of entitlement. In another, she demanded compensation for every hour the film is streamed online.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed on.
Implying her time was more valuable than Disney's entire legacy. Her interviews became more chaotic, more self-righteous, and more alienating. Rather than promoting a new kind of Snow White, she turned herself into a symbol of Hollywood excess and delusion. The internet labeled her tone-deaf, insufferable, and disconnected from reality.
There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
She wasn't winning over skeptics. She was mocking them. Then, the movie dropped. And things got even worse. Opening night should have been a victory lap. Instead, TikTok showed empty theaters. People filmed themselves walking into screenings with only 1 or 2 others in the audience.
I am walking into Snow White, 2 p.m., now seating. Let's see how empty it is. I hope, it's off the woke we go. I hope. Sound like I hear a couple of people. One, two. Oh, okay. 2.
Critics destroyed the film. They called it hollow, joyless, and stuffed with heavy-handed messaging. The dwarfs were gone, replaced by CGI creatures. The romance was gone, replaced by vague speeches about empowerment. And the heart of the story, also gone. Disney tried to spin it as bold and visionary, but viewers didn't feel inspired. They felt insulted. Many left the theater wondering if they had just sat through a re-education lecture instead of a whimsical fairy tale. And Rachel? She was nowhere to be found when the reviews started rolling in. If there was ever a moment that captured the disconnect between Rachel and the rest of the world, it was her appearance on stage with co-star Gal Gadot at an awards show. Gal appeared calm, elegant, and professional. Rachel? She marched out like a UFC fighter. Shoulders back, chin high, arms swinging like she was ready to start a fight. The contrast was almost cartoonish. The internet immediately picked up on the awkward tension. Gal kept her distance, reading her lines. Rachel tried to command the room and ended up looking wildly out of place.
Please welcome Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
Viewers joked that Gal was silently praying Rachel wouldn't go off script and launch into another anti-fairy tale rant. By now, every camera pointed at Rachel felt like a loaded weapon, ready to capture another viral misstep. But just when people thought she couldn't get any more embarrassing, The Simpsons entered the chat. The Simpsons has mocked just about everyone over the years, but when they choose you as a parody target, it means the world sees you as a full-blown cultural spectacle. And now, they're aiming directly at Rachel Zegler. Reports say an upcoming episode will feature a snow woke storyline, where a Rachel-style character tears apart classic fairy tales to make them more progressive. She reportedly rewrites plots, bashes princes, and declares herself the ultimate feminist queen while the town of Springfield watches in horror. The timing couldn't be worse for Rachel. She's already neck-deep in controversy. Now The Simpsons is about to immortalize her in animated form.
Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
Not as a heroine, but as a joke. It's one thing to face internet backlash, it's another to be mocked on national television by one of the most iconic shows in history. When the backlash reached a boiling point, Rachel suddenly changed her tune. She started praising the original 1937 film. She called it timeless and said it had a message that everyone needs to hear. She even claimed she wanted to honor the original creators and respect their legacy.
Listen here as the star, Rachel Zegler, does a massive backflip.
There is a message that's been carried on for almost 90 years now from the original animated classic.
She's gone from bagging the original story to saying it's an example to admire.
There are messages in both films that everyone needs to hear. It's timeless. That's what makes it a classic.
Weird.
There's a lot of responsibility there, and so you have to take excellent care of the classic versions of these stories that people care so deeply about.
Weird.
I think it's a very human thing to not always see the bright side, but that is part of the beauty of Snow White. It has been for 88 years now that she just sees the good in everyone and everything.
And she's in fact going to be a girl boss feminist who don't need no man.
But it was too little, too late. Fans weren't buying it. The change in tone felt like damage control, not genuine growth. One minute she was tearing the movie down, calling the prince a creep and the story outdated. The next she was talking about how special and important the original had been all along. People saw it for what it was, PR spin, and the whiplash only made her look more fake. Behind the scenes, the damage was done. Studio insiders reportedly began distancing themselves. A rumored animated voice role was quietly pulled. Casting directors started avoiding her name. No one wanted to take a gamble on someone who had become so polarizing so fast. Industry whispers called her box office poison. She was no longer a promising star. She was a liability. Her name wasn't trending because of her talent. It was trending because of controversy, mockery, and backlash.
I just want to tell you guys about a little incredible movie that just came out, Snow White. Wow. I just got to tell you, best movie I've seen in years, and there have been some really, really good films lately. Madam Web, Rebel Moon Part 1, that movie, that transgender one with the Mexican drug lord. But Snow White blows them all away. Chat, this movie has everything. Horrifying, CGI, little people, check. A feminist princess who don't need no man, double check. Diddy dance party at the end, double Diddy check. All this to say, go see Snow White right now. The new one. Not that old stupid one where the princess gets saved by some good, upstanding guy.
And now the Simpsons parody threatens to cement her as the definitive example of what not to do when given a major franchise role. Hollywood loves a redemption story, and Rachel Zegler could still have one, if she's willing to change. She'd need to show real humility, real reflection, and real growth. Not scripted apologies, not carefully crafted PR statements, but honest conversations and a willingness to learn. She could land a gritty indie film, deliver a knockout performance, and rebuild her brand from the ground up. But so far, she's shown no interest in taking that route. Instead, she keeps doubling down, alienating fans, alienating studios, and setting herself up for more ridicule. And with the Simpsons episode on the way, her image is about to take another brutal hit. Because when satire gets involved, it's not just a controversy, it becomes part of the culture. Rachel Zegler set out to redefine Snow White, but in the process, she may have redefined her entire career, and not in a good way. She challenged nostalgia and failed to deliver anything better. She alienated audiences who once wanted to root for her, and now she's become a punchline in animated form. So what do you think? Can Rachel recover from this, or has The Simpsons delivered the final blow? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood drama.